today for our tutorial I thought we might go through some sight reading and just a few good steps to try sight reading. Okay, so the first thing I always look at, there's 5 steps that I follow. The first thing I always look at is rhythm. So I've got a few sight reading exercises in this book. Now what I like to identify first is the time signature. So when I refer to the time signature, I refer to these numbers at the start of the music. You can see there. This one has a C, this one has a 2/4 time, and this one has a 4/4 time. So the C is the same as the 4/4 time, just means common time. Okay, so by looking at the rhythm, I'm looking at the kinds of beats that they've used in this short line. So we'll try number 8, this one over here. And as you can see there, we've got a minim, crotchet, 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 minim, minim, crotchet, 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 minim. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually write in the counting. So remember, a minim is 2 beats long, so 1, 2. So I've got 1, 2, and remember, you've got 4/4 time. So the 4 on the top tells us we've got 4 beats, and the 4 on the bottom tells us we've got crotchet beats. So this just means that we have 4 crotchet beats, and the crotchet will equal 1 in this case. So I'm just going to draw in my counting, so we'll only be counting to 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see that? So 1, 2, because the minim is worth 2, and then 3, 4. And I'm just going to do that for the rest of the short melody. Okay, so once you've drawn in all of the counting, you can actually go ahead, maybe clap it out loud and count, or you could just tap it on your knee. It is easiest for you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I was counting that, if I was clapping that, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The next thing that I do, so step 2, note reading. So I think we can also look at the key signature in this case. So the key signature tells us whether we have any sharps or accidentals or flats throughout the melody. So in this case, as you can see there, we have a sharp, and they're both in the treble clef, both hands, so we've got a sharp on the F line. So this just means that all of our sharps throughout this melody will be an F sharp. Okay, so all of the Fs, F sharp. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to randomly note read this, the notes in the melody. So first up, we've got a B, then we have G, F. So B, 2, G, F, E, G, A, 2, and that's it for the right hand. Now we've also got the treble clef in the left hand, so that means we're just going to read the same notes pretty much. So here we have D, D, E, F, A, G. Okay. The third thing with sight reading is looking for melody patterns. So a melody pattern can be pretty much anything, really. It can be notes that are skipping up in a certain order, maybe skipping down, stepping notes, repeating notes, anything that looks like it's following a pattern. So if I look throughout this song, I do notice there's a rhythmic pattern. So we've got minim, crotchet, 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 minim, and see the one in the left hand also follows that same pattern there. As for melody patterns, so the notes, let me see. It doesn't seem to be following a certain melody pattern, so there's like nothing that's repeating itself. Okay, then the fourth thing to look for is chords. So as you can see in this melody, there is actually no chords. Maybe to show you an example of a chord, I could look at a more tricky version. So if we look at this one over here, see this one is actually 2 lines long. Oops. And you can see that there's a chord that actually repeats itself 3 times. Okay, can you see that? Chord, chord, chord. Now you can see that's actually like more like an interval, and if you count the distance between the interval, you will notice it's a 5th. Okay. But as for the melody that I'm looking at today, there's actually no chords, so that makes our job easier. Okay, then the 5th step is to put the rhythm to the melody. So we know what the rhythm is, we've clapped it, we've counted it, we've read the notes, so now we just need to put our hands in the right position and play it. Let me have a go. So sometimes they won't have a fingering for you to follow, so you don't know where to put your hands. When that happens, I always just look for the lowest note. So in this case, you can see that in the left hand we have D. D is our lowest note, so you could probably put your pinky on that note. Then in the right hand, you can see E is the lowest note. Yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of a hand crossover, but that's okay because our hands aren't actually playing over each, like together, they're just making turns, so that's not too bad. So I'm going to put my thumb in my right hand on the E, because the E is the lowest note, and then for the left hand, I'll just play over it when I come to it, okay? Okay, and don't forget that F sharp, so let's have a go. And that's how you do sight reading. Remember 5 easy steps. So first of all, rhythm. You look at your rhythm, what kind of time signature you have, and you write in your counting, and you go ahead and clap or tap the rhythm and count while you're doing that. Second step, notes. So read your notes, figure out if you have any accidentals or naturals, flats maybe, sharps. 3, look for melody patterns. This one didn't have a melody pattern, but if you wanted an example of a melody pattern, look at this one. So we have these 3 notes that are just stepping down each time, but they just move up by 1 step. That's a melody pattern. So here we have A, G, F, then we have B, A, G, then we have C, oh that one is skipping, so we have C, A, F there. So that's a melody pattern. 4, you look for chords, so for any notes that you have to play all at the same time, that could include intervals like a 5th or a 2nd, or it could include block chords where you have more, 3 or more notes. And then the 5th step is rhythm to melody. So figure out where your hands have to go and play without stopping. Well, that's all for now. So it was nice talking to you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.